all of us have, at least for my life, there's always been
You look quite a bit like Gandhiji. Do you know that?
um, which is not a good thing. This is a
Right.
pain in the neck.
With your specs and all, you.
I took off my round specs. I used to have round John Lennon specs, but they're also Gandhi specs. I have parked them. It's a bit too much now. Uh, so my Gandhi moment actually happened when I was in the ashram the second time. I had held an event over there along with them. And then it's in conversation, the power of it, and conversation with Tushar on how he became his Gandhi moment and when he fought for
You actually
matches.
met Gandhiji.
I know Tushar.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The age difference is too
Ages.
much. I never met him. And I met lots of people who know him or met
Yeah.
him or I met Taraji, his granddaughter who lived with him.
My father-in-law has letters, handwritten letters by Gandhiji from jail.
Wow. He used to write, incredibly. So, did you have a Gandhi moment, or how did Gandhi appear in your life?
It's very strange. When I was in school, I used to read these lives, Gandhi, Nehru. These were actually my heroes in my younger days. And they used to keep making fun of me at home because I wouldn't do anything in the house. I was all the time right. So they used to keep teasing me, Gandhi, Nehru, Gandhi, Nehru, because I was mentally, I used to be interested with the freedom movement. And we were young. I was born in 42. When freedom came, I was 7. 5. But the early years, the first 15 years, there was an aura about these people, about Nehru, and things that happened, and also about the freedom movement itself. I was very much touched by all that. And I remember the day Gandhiji was assassinated. We were in a small town called Ottapallam in Malabar, you know. And my father came home early from the court, and the gates were locked, the doors were locked, everything. And I was just 6. I didn't know what was happening. And I said, what has happened? Why is everybody shouting on the roads? There were these demonstrations and shouting slogans and processions and all that in the evening. Then my father put me on his lap and said, our great leader of this country has been killed. I said, why? Because some people didn't like him and they killed him. And, that sort of touched me at that time. So I didn't know who Gandhi was. Seen, we had no television those days, no thing, small town papers. But from then, some or the other, over the years, my I was not in the Congress party or anything, but I was always interested. I didn't have a Gandhi moment. When I became governor of Gujarat, the first thing I did after taking my oath was to go to the ashram, Sabarmati ashram. And there was a beautiful picture of me with the V with Gandhiji's picture in the back, trying to work on it. We were also on a number of these, that Congress march, Gandhi march was repeated. I was there in that. All of us walked. I didn't walk the whole distance, but we took part. And, but somehow Gandhiji has been, I would say, to most of us of those days, a hero and a martyr. I've participated in a number of seminars in Delhi, the this January mark. Very often there used to be prayer meetings, things I used to go. And today, for me to sit and see the tragedy of Godse being glorified as a kind of a saint in a country which got its freedom from Mahatma, he being ridiculed, he being sort of, as somebody said recently, he was nothing but a Banya politician. There was nothing saintly about it. What was big about it? He partitioned the country. He was responsible for all the problems we have inherited. He was a hypocrite. You know, these sort of statements shock me. They do shock me. At my age, having lived our whole lives in the shadow of this great man, to be told today, you know, I wore khadi all my life.
No, really.
Right? In all my life means
All your
since I came into politics from 69, I've only worn khadi for all meetings, things. These days, you see my party people come to the party office in see-through saris, chiffons, and God knows what side type. We never entered the Congress office except in khadi. All campaigns, everything, right through Parliament. I only wore khadi. But that was an age and a phase, right? Nobody respects it.
So if you have to look at what was the either direct or indirect influence that Gandhiji had in your life, or what qualities, or perhaps uh, did he inspire you in any way? Did he? I can see aspects of him in you, but I'll share them with you when you tell me.
No. Well, he was an inspiration. We were the young generation. When he died in 48, as I said, I was 6. But those days, there was a lot of aura about Gandhiji, whether it was his birthday or his assassination day, or so many other events dedicated to him. There was, if I may say, a national surge of, what should I use, of admiration for a man who gave up everything, was clad in next to nothing, and worked for the people. His fast, his dedication, his sacrifices, and more than anything, I think his moral courage to stand up for what he believed was the right and was in the interest of his country. He placed the people and his country far above himself. And I think that sense of tyag, as we say, is what inspired me the most. That a man would give up everything for his country.
Got you. Are there any, if you had to sort of pinpoint three qualities of Gandhi that you truly admired and loved about him, what would they be?
One was his simple living. Second was his courage to speak up for what he believed was right. And third was his capacity to bring people together. Differing views, differing ideas, differing personalities, all strong and powerful. But before him, they all bowed. And to me, that was a great quality, capacity to bring people together.
And that's something you did as well. No? You were able to do that. I mean, you're not exactly mainstream.
No, but I have been doing it in so many ways, so many places.
You were in Gujarat. You're a Catholic, and you speak Gujarati.
So my mother-in-law was a Gujarati,
Oh, she was.
and I think that's what struck
Oh,
the prime minister, because when I
okay.
met him, I said, you know, I'm the daughter-in-law of a Gujarati. Arey, ye kahan se? And I told him that she was from Gujarat. But my husband was half Gujarati.
But if you were heading the Congress party, These were very, especially in the times of turmoil that you were in, they were all kinds of people.
Telling you.
And
You know, one person who detested, not I don't say detested, but who was going hammer and tongs against me was Sanjay.
yeah, mad fellow.
I refused to fall in with all that he was doing. And I used to keep reporting to Indraji. And so he was out to get me out. But I survived somehow, and Indraji always defended me and stood by, which was the greatest thing.
So,
And Rajiv ji once said to me, I admired you for your courage to stand up to my brother, he told me once. Because everybody fell in line. But even in meetings, when he was present,
you were known to be extremely correct. Your reputation was that you were extremely, you would just stand for what you stood for, and it didn't matter who was in front of you.
exactly.
That I remember hearing and listening. And
That is the soul strength, I must say, that I had. And you know something, it's so easy to say yes to everybody. It takes courage to say no. But when you have to say no, you must say it.
Mhm.
That has been my principle. And maybe I would have gone places if I had been more pliable and followed it. But I believed that you live your life but once. And it's not what you gain, but what you leave behind as a legacy that matters.
So beautiful, yes.
My hands have been clean. My conscience has been very clear. And I have no regrets for what I have done or not. As I said, I could have reached much higher heights.
I thought you reached pretty very high heights.
If I had made compromises,
Mhm.
fallen in line, and said yes to many things. But I never had doubts about being true to my conscience.